Hey, it's Vanessa from CraftyGemini.com, and today's sewing tutorial is on how to make your very own pillow cover, just like this one. This is a bit intricate. I made this for my husband about 2 years ago because he loves fish and all that, but I'm simply using it to show you the type of pillow cover you'll be making. It's very simple. We're going to keep the fabric just plain on the front and plain on the back. Now, the type of pillow cover it is an envelope pillow cover. Okay, that means that this overlaps in the back. There's no buttons or zippers or anything intricate. For this type of pillow cover, all you need is the fabric, so it's a great beginner project. So you can see there's a pillow form in here, and I just pop it out. So this makes for a very easy cleaning. You can just take the pillow cover off, wash it, and pop it right back on. This pillow form is 12 inches squared, and I purchased this as it is. However, you can purchase at a thrift store or at a yard sale, or if you have even old pillows that you want to cover up, it would work great in this. You just slip it in here, and nobody's ever going to know what's underneath. Let's now go to our fabric and show you what you need to cut to get started. So first thing we need to do is to select our pillow form. Okay, this one I said earlier was 12 inches by 12 inches. What I'm going to do next is going to apply to whatever size pillow form you're using. So if you have a really big pillow that's maybe 20 inches by 20 inches, the same technique is going to apply. Okay, in this case I said 12 by 12. So what I need for the front part of my fabric is going to be 1 inch bigger on all sides to account for the seam allowance after we sew it up. Okay, so in this case, if this is 12 by 12, my fabric piece needs to be 13 by 13, which I have right here. Alright, so there's that piece. We know that's going to the front of the fabric, of the pillow cover, I'm sorry. Now, the back of it, okay, is going to be the same width, which I said was 13, but the length, however, needs to be 4 inches longer than the front piece. So that means this is 13 by 17. The extra 4 inches is what we need right back here that ends up overlapping to create the envelope part of this pillow cover. Okay, so if your pillow is bigger than the 12 by 12, or even if it's smaller, remember those rules. For the front, you want 1 inch larger on both sides than the pillow form itself, and then for the back side, the same as the front, and add 4 inches to the length. Okay, so let's get started. The next step is to lay the longest piece of your fabric, which we said was the back side, right? The 13 by 17 inch piece, and measure half of 17 inches in this case, okay? If yours is a larger pillow or smaller pillow, do the same thing. Divide it in half, the back piece, and slice it right down the middle, okay? Until you have two separate parts like this. Now we start sewing. Now that we've cut the longer piece in half, the next step is to hem these center parts right here where they're going to overlap, okay? So in order to do that, I have one here started for you. I folded it over about 1/4 inch and then pressed it down, okay? That's half of the hem. The next step is to refold it on itself, again, just like that. Then you'll press this all the way up, and then you're going to pin it in place because you'll be stitching that down, okay? Just like that. Then come back and pin all the way down here, just like that. And remember, we have to do that to the other piece as well. So I'm going to finish this one, then I'll do the same thing to this side, and then we'll start sewing. So as you can see, I've already hemmed over the edge and pinned it in place, ready for sewing. What I didn't note earlier was that you see as my hem is folded over towards the wrong side of the fabric. You see that's the right side, and here's the wrong side. This is how your hem should be facing, towards the inside, okay? So that when the pillow is completed and this is the side that you're seeing, you don't see any of this folded over hem, okay? So make sure of that before you start stitching. Now I'm just going to start stitching here in place, and I'm going to try to stitch close to that folded edge of my hem because I want that hem to be held completely down. Okay, we're going to do that to this side, and we'll do the same thing to the next one. So here you can see I have finished hemming both sides of the center part. Remember, this was the long piece that we cut exactly down the middle, then hemmed it, okay? Now the next thing we do is to bring our front part of what's going to be our finished pillow cover and place it down pretty side facing you, and then take one of these panels and put it pretty side facing down, okay? So the pretty sides have to be touching. Make sure you line up the raw edges here. Then with the other piece, Also keep in mind you want both of these hem parts towards the center, okay? That's what's going to open for you to put the pillow form inside. So here I'm lining up the raw edges again. And as you can see, we're going to have some overlap here. That's what's going to make the envelope to slip our pillow cover in. Now all we have to do is pin all the way around and stitch it closed, okay? Then we'll flip it inside out and put in our pillow cover and we're all done. So I'll start pinning, and when I come back, I'll be stitching this all together. So I've pinned my entire pillow cover all the way around, and I'm going to start stitching. You can start anywhere you want. Just go all the way around. Make sure you don't leave any holes, because remember, the space that's overlapping here will be a hole, so you can flip your entire pillow cover inside out. So that's easy. The seam I like to use is a 1/4 inch seam, so that's what I'll be doing. And just take a straight stitch all the way around. So I finished stitching all the way around. Now what I need to do is to clip my corners. What you want to do is, as you see the corner right there, it's a right angle corner. There's a lot of excess fabric here, so when I flip the pillow cover inside out, it won't allow me to push out a nice crisp pointy corner because of this fabric here. So what you need to do is to cut that away at an angle like that. And then what I like to do is to come in and trim away a little bit of the excess here to make way for that corner once it's flipped inside out. So I'll do it again to another corner, cut at an angle, and then trim a little bit of the excess away. Make sure you don't cut into the stitching. If you do, it's not a big deal. Just make sure you stitch over it again on the machine so that part doesn't open up on you. Okay, just like that. Now we'll flip this inside out. Make sure to pull out those corners so they come out nice and crisp. And there it is, your own pillow cover. Now all you got to do is slip your pillow form in there and you're all set. So here I'll show you how to put the pillow form in. Just slip it in there and it should fit perfectly if you followed what I told you. Remember, whatever the size of your pillow form is, go 1 inch bigger. So this we started off with 12 by 12, so I cut my fabric, the front piece, 13 by 13. And then you see how the fabric overlaps right in there. A nice little envelope, keeps it nice and taut. And there's your perfect pillow.